Let's face the truth. Deleting social media will not fix the problem of doom scrolling. I know most of you have tried a full digital detox at one point in your lives, and how long did it last? Be honest. Most of us enjoy the thrill of being deprived of Insta stories of old friends for a few days, then go straight back to doom scrolling after the FOMO gets bad and we reinstall the app. I think it is better to defeat the system from the inside. So I'm going to tell you how I quit doom scrolling in just a few simple steps without deleting social media or completely breaking off communication with my friends and family. Hi beautiful people, my name is Alora, and like you already know, in today's video I will show you the 9 simple steps I took for quitting doom scrolling and just generally unlearning the act of scrolling. These steps helped me greatly, so let's get straight into it. Firstly, this is a very important step, don't skip it. I faced the problem and acknowledged it as it is. Scrolling is not beneficial in any way, and it is literally just wasted time and unnecessary money towards corporations who capitalize off of your attention. It not only destroys your attention span, it wastes so much time from your day. Think about it, if you spend 9 hours a day on your phone, which I used to do, then that means you have 9 hours of less time. You're working towards your goal, the things you love, the things you care about. It's 9 hours less time spent with your family, with your friends, with all the relatives who might not be with you much longer. So the first step is just really acknowledge the problem that scrolling is not beneficial. Oh wait, I forgot to put on my lipstick. Nice. Sorry. So scrolling is really not beneficial, and it is something that is so unnecessary. Secondly, the second step I took was that I tried omitting scrolling and social media and just my phone in general for a few days without any specific system. My goal was just that I will be barely on my phone. Yes, of course, I can take important calls, I can chat with friends for a few minutes, but the goal really was just to stop using it. It's kind of like a digital detox, but without really a system, without a reward system, without a punishment if it doesn't work out. The function of this step is that it made me realize how much more time I have if I just don't go on my phone. I know, theoretically, we all know that we would spare time and we would have more time if we wouldn't use our phones that much. But in reality, you don't really see and feel the consequences of that until you try yourself. So, for example, I spent one whole day completely without my phone, and it has changed me. I did things like coloring books. I read magazines. I did stuff that I haven't done since I was a child. And it felt just so liberating and freeing, and I didn't really miss my phone at all, of course, just in this one day. The third step that I made towards quitting scrolling altogether is that I moved all important contacts and all important people to apps specifically made for communication and chatting. This means that I wrote to every important, semi-important person in my life and told them, hey, I will only be available to chat on Messenger, WhatsApp, Viber, whatever communication program you use, so that I wouldn't have the opportunity to go open Instagram, open TikTok, open any other social media app like Snapchat. I never had Snapchat, but just as an example, just to talk with people, because more often than not I just open the app to look at messages that I got from people, and then I end up scrolling for hours, and that is not something I wanted to do, so I want to forego that. It's just very important, if you don't want to break off contact completely with your friends and family who are on social media, then you can just tell them, hey, you can text me in this app, in this specific app. I will not be present in this social media app anymore, not as frequently as I usually am. Then comes the fourth step, which is actually pretty useful. You could think that it is a full solution to the problem, but it's not quite there yet, which is downloading an app blocker. I personally downloaded Screenzen, but you can use any app blocker that you'd like. Its function is basically that it limits the use of special apps So for short form content, I said, okay, I can only use Instagram for 20 minutes and I could only use TikTok for 15 minutes in a day. And for long form content like YouTube, I limited it to 2 hours a day. The good thing about screens and specifically is that it also limits the amount of opens I get a day. So for example, I told the app I only want the opportunity to open Instagram and YouTube 4 times a day. This means every time I click on the app, it doesn't automatically open, but it comes like a page that shows me how many times I have already opened it and how many opens I still have left for today. And even if I click on okay, open this app, it will take a few minutes until the app actually opens up. No, not a few minutes, it actually just takes 5 seconds, but it feels like an eternity really, especially when you just like want to scroll, you want something, want some quick dopamine. This app actually shows you so much, because opening an application becomes a conscious choice that is not unlimited and not always readily available. It just makes you think more about how necessary is it to open it at that moment. Like, do I really need to go on Instagram when I'm just bored in my bed? Like, do I not have something other to do, like draw or pick up a coloring book or just journal or read a book? My goal was just to make opening the apps themselves a conscious choice so that I can monitor better what happens with them. I could also control how long each open should last for. So for example, if I open YouTube, then it lasts for 30 minutes. And after 30 minutes, I would need to use another open if I want to continue the app. For Instagram and TikTok, it's I think 7 minutes for me, but I'm thinking about changing it to 5 minutes because I really don't need that much time. Like sometimes I'm just like on the app and I'm thinking, wow, how long do I have left? It has been a really long time since I opened it. And it has been just like 5 minutes. And also, you need a blocking app that literally blocks the app. That where you cannot go around it. That's my problem with iPhone screen blocker thingy. You can pretty effectively block everything, but then it takes 2 clicks to just ignore it. And I started out using that one, and I've been professionally ignoring it for like months and months. Now that opening the app and using it for just a specific amount of time has become a conscious choice and something that you are very, very well aware of, I implemented a new rule, which meant no scrolling. This does not mean I cannot open the app or cannot use the app. It just means the literal act of scrolling should not be there anymore. So I can totally open the app and use it and consume content as long as I don't scroll. So this mainly means browsing on your For You page and clicking on every single individual video. After you clicked on the video and watched it, it can be short form content, it can be long form content, you need to actively click on the back like little sign to get back to your For You page instead of scrolling. And then you can just click on another video that you like based on the thumbnail. And this works for both Insta, YouTube, TikTok. It is, if you think about it, no full detox because you are still able to use the app. It's just a limitation that hopefully makes it more inconvenient for you to use. It makes it harder for you to lose yourself in a constant scroll. And it is much easier to stay consistent with like a routine if it's not too limiting. So I have started this no scroll policy a few months ago and I haven't had the itch to scroll or to break it once, because I can still use the apps just fine. The only difference is that I cannot stay on the app for 5 hours at a time. And also, it is pretty easy to unlearn if you think about it. And this success of, okay, I didn't scroll, it just keeps you motivated. Every time I would catch myself scrolling, I would quit the app immediately, by the way. So in case you want a punishment, no excuses. This is very important. So this 6th rule is, I would say, the most unusual one, because I have never heard anyone talk about this, but it has helped me immensely. So I have never heard anyone talk about just quitting the act of scrolling, and genuinely changed my life. And then as the 7th, that's not a 7, I don't know what I'm doing, but but that was not a 7. As the 7th step, I eliminated video drifting on YouTube. This is when you click on one video just to move on to another in the next 2 minutes. So like drifting from long form video to long form video. It happens a lot. It happens with a lot of people. I try to watch long form videos from beginning to end. And this is also the new rule. And if I can't, if I click on a video and see, okay, this actually doesn't interest me, and this is so irrelevant to my life, like why am I watching this? Then do I really care about the whole video? Then if not, then why am I wasting my 2 hours a day that I get on this app on this specific video? And this helps you just really filter the content that you're consuming, because you are on a time limit and you really only want to watch the videos that have an impact on your life, and you will never know if the videos are really that important for your life until you put them under a limit. My following and subscription page has changed a lot since implementing this rule on YouTube, because I realized a lot of creators I was just following because they had 1 or 2 great videos that I like, but actually their thumbnails look aesthetic, and then I click on a video and then I just don't care. Like I genuinely don't care. Like why do I pretend to care about this random person's life online, you know? And of course, this video or this tip might make you realize that you don't actually care about my content either. But I think that is completely fine. And yeah, let's move on to the 8th rule, which is just generally, I picked up hobbies, as more specifically journaling, things to do in my free time, gaming, gardening, baking, cooking, reading, more writing, and just in general creative stuff. I filled up my time that I wasn't spending on my phone with other things outside of said phone. And you can also see some of the hobbies that I'm reconnecting with in my short series Happy with Hobbies. In case you're interested, then go follow me on TikTok or Instagram, or just generally YouTube Shorts. I post 1 episode of Happy with Hobbies every week, and I hope that this will inspire you to start your own hobbies or reconnect with your childhood selves through something that you used to do or used to like. Then we come to the last and final step, the 9th step, which generally what you learn when you do it for a prolonged period of time. So I could say after a few months of doing this, I can say that I don't usually crave short form content anymore. And like I said, even when I open the app, I seldom use it for the full 7 minutes that I gave myself. Most of the time I end up quitting before that because I'm bored, and because I know, okay, well, I will be spending a maximum of 7 minutes on this app, but I kind of like don't really want to max out those 7 minutes anymore. You get a little bit bored by short form content, you get a little bit bored by long form content, but also your attention span kind of shifts. You are still consuming short form content, of course, but not that much. So it will be easier for you to stay focused on longer videos. Yes, so there were days where I haven't even opened the apps that I'm not supposed to scroll on. I do, however, tend to spend more time on them when I'm tired or after an exhausting day. But I am not doom scrolling anymore, which feels like defeating at least one part of the machine that capitalizes off of our attention. So to sum up, I could say that quitting the act of scrolling itself, instead of deleting the app or doing a full digital detox, that is kind of unachievable in today's society because you need your phone for work, for friends, for family, for everything. I think it is pretty realistic to just quit scrolling instead of quitting the apps themselves. It is much more doable than you would think. I could stand in front of you and say, okay, I don't actually scroll anymore, and you would be like, that sounds like so much work, and it really isn't. You just need to become accustomed to it, which actually is easier and goes quicker than you would think, really. So I really recommend that you try these 9 steps that I took, and I also recommend the app Screenzen that I use. Of course, this is not sponsored or anything. That was it from me today. Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comment sections, or what you already did, or if you have ever done a digital detox and how it went. And yes, please like this video and subscribe, because I'm trying to reach 100 subscribers by the end of this month. It was Alora speaking. Keep shining, you are, and see you next week. Bye!